the other day we were talking about, the balance between emotions and intellect when it comes to your faith, because we have some people who shun emotions and are like, everything's got to be super intellectual and broken down to its smallest component and deconstructed. And you're just like, man, like that's a bit much. But then on the opposite side, you have this sort of Gnosticism where everything's just given up to the air and the spirit and the emotions of it all. And so, but what we didn't bring home was to put them together and to have emotional intelligence. And this is really crucial, especially for young men to have. So I want to give you the definition of emotional intelligence, which is right here. It says, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to perceive, control, and evaluate emotions. So that is essentially what emotional intelligence is. It's when you are able to, perceive what you are feeling and then respond in a way so that you can control what you're feeling. And so when anger is brought upon you because somebody's trying your life, it's like, wait a minute, do I really need to, fight physically? Like, what is the best way to handle this situation? And that's what makes great leaders as well. And so let's get into our profitable points. So I don't know why that still says John Morant. So it says, masculinity is about being emotionally intelligent so you can lead effectively. Right there. So you can lead effectively. If you can't handle your emotions, I remember when I was coming up playing baseball, right? And I used to get super mad when I would get out when I was younger. And my mom would always get mad at me and say, like, no, you can't respond in that way, because then that's carrying over to your next at bats, and it's a snowball effect to where now you're just playing like crap. You're not being very productive because you're letting this one singular event, hinder your ability to succeed later. And that's a lot of what happens if you're not emotionally intelligent. You just give into your emotions and your feelings right then, that you don't respond in the appropriate way. And if you want to be a leader, especially men, we're called to be leaders of our household. How do you expect to do that if you're not emotionally intelligent? And so that is a big part of it. So that was my second point, I think. All right, so let me get back to my first point then. Okay, so here's the first point. We must understand a good balance of understanding our emotions and how they drive us with the knowledge that we currently know about the world. And so it all comes back to having a balanced diet with anything. It's like you can't have too much of this, you can't have too much of that, but also understanding what is healthy for you. Having a balanced diet is the majority of the time I have to the net positive. Like if you think about it in terms of like stocks, I want this stock to be rising. Doesn't mean I can't dip every now and then, have like a ice cream sandwich or a piece of cake that's maybe take my stock down a little more, you know, that cheats the diet a little bit. But all in all, I want my stock to be rising. I want to continually get healthier, continually get more emotionally intelligent, continually to grow in the things that God has for me. And that is, if you're not doing that, then you are going to revert back to, behaviors that will be detrimental to, your long-term success, like John Morant. So hopefully this time he can disappear. He can learn the error of his ways. He can surround himself with good people. He can take the wisdom that, a lot of people are saying to him and apply it so that he can, because he's a very young guy. I think he's even younger than me. I'm only 25. I believe he's like 24, 23. So this guy's got a lot of ball left ahead of him. But if he continues down the path that he is, he will, right now, he doesn't have a good balance outside of the basketball court. He's producing really good things on the court, but outside the court, he's got to get himself together. He's got to be more emotionally intelligent so that he can lead into a better future. So that is what we got right there. I want to play you one more thing because It is super, 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 super important that you watch what you consume. And so this next video that I'm about to play you is from a profitable conversation that I had with Miracle. And she goes into why it is important that you watch what you consume. So check this out.
Media is medium. It's information that comes through something.
Right.
And it gets to you and it goes into your spirit, and it handles you in a way that you don't always recognize. And so it's one of those things where you really have to be intentional with what you put in your ear or what you look at.
Yeah.
And I don't think people take that seriously enough, because I think we're in the age now where everyone believes they're invincible. Everyone believes that.
Yeah. Everybody believes that they're invincible. And then they have to face the consequences. And that could be detrimental to their ability to provide for themselves, to provide for their families, and build a legacy. So don't let that happen to you.